Hello. Welcome back to Embracing Conversational Engagement, a mini webinar series in 3 episodes. Today, episode 2, Conversational Engagement Success Stories. So we have 4 stories. We're going to start with a government that worked with Acquion during the height of the COVID response, supplying citizen services. As we know, unemployment claims were coming in at an unbelievable rate, millions and millions in just a couple of months. And local and state governments were just not able to keep up with the volumes of calls coming in. So this particular government that worked with Acquion created a virtual agent, intelligent virtual agent, to front end all the channels where citizens could come into the state or local government. When escalations were needed or somebody needed to speak to an agent, when the virtual agent couldn't handle the issue, those interactions were handled through callback campaigns. In addition, citizens could opt in for notifications for progress on requests. The callbacks, when they were required, were grouped by type and assigned to the best qualified agents for that specific kind of query. And the government found that they had a 20% productivity improvement. What happened is essentially what had been an inbound-only contact center was transformed to become proactively outbound. So what does that look like? We have our citizen coming into the virtual agent first, and again, that's by text or by phone or by web query. And things that are not handled by the virtual agent, escalation requests, for example, are brought to the conversational engagement engine, which optimizes callbacks, assigning them in groups to agents or groups of agents. And then the callbacks are made. We also see that from the virtual agent, we can send requests to the conversational engagement engine, which will create notifications for each citizen if that's required. Our next example is a pet care business, something near and dear to my heart. We have 4 Labradors in our house. So a network of pet stores is working with Acquion to proactively manage appointments as they reopen. One of the things that is happening as businesses reopen across the world is there's a percentage of how many people can be in a store, how many people can be in a salon. And that is cutting back on the amount of business that pet stores can do or any other kind of service industry. And so to reduce those no-shows, to reduce cancellations and rescheduling, they're working with Acquion to not only create appointments, but send out notifications to make sure people don't forget they have them, and then proactively upsell wellness and salon services. Finally, they're using Acquion to create post-visit surveys in order to drive even more repeat business. So, how is our consumer using the pet care application? So, the consumer calls in asking for an appointment, and Acquion is integrated with the pet store's customer relationship management system, so they can look up the appointment, look up the customer, create the appointment, and understand what kinds of re-engagement might be possible with that particular customer. Those are sent to the Acquion engagement engine. And so reminders will be set up for those appointments, but also some re-engagement after the appointment. There may be, additional kinds of services that can be applied to that particular pet owner. And this really does exemplify very well the way that companies can proactively manage how they re-engage with consumers that they may not have seen for a year or more, as all of this has been playing out. So our third example is a lead conversion application for an online marketplace. So think about your buying a new car, you need to find insurance for it. If you Google car insurance online, you might come to a marketplace that gives you, half a dozen, 10, 20 maybe, different options. You choose one of those options and a message is sent to that insurance company. So Acquion is working with one of those companies to make sure that that lead is converted and brought to an agent within 60 seconds, because that's the commitment that they have to this insurance company. So there's an automatic feed of leads from the application online, the marketplace, that's done via an application programming interface, a real-time connection. And then sophisticated follow-up contact strategies can be used to prioritize leads and to follow up on leads that are not reached on the first attempt. So let's see how that looks. We have our consumer who makes a web inquiry. The API then brings it to Conversational Engagement by Acquion, and within 60 seconds, that lead is sent to the contact center to just the right agent to engage with that particular consumer. And so they get a call back, and in addition, the consumer can be making 800 calls into the contact center, and the same kind of thing will happen. And our final use case is mortgage lending. So this is a dual use case of sales and servicing. So this mortgage company wanted to have a better handle on not just sales, but origination of loans, servicing of them, collections, and retention. So really across the entire customer journey that somebody who is getting a mortgage might be going through. So there are multiple campaigns that this company worked with Acquion. One was agent matching to assign the best leads to agents most likely to close the sale. And that kind of thing is based on past performance, right? Salespeople very often have like a hot day, or they're having a great month. Somebody else may have the opposite, and you want to make sure you get your very best leads to the agents most likely to close. Origination process exceptions handled via engagement workflows, and then optimize collection using artificial intelligence to figure out the best time to call to get a live person and to figure propensity to pay. Let's make sure we're using our agents with customers who are most likely to pay. So mortgage origination and servicing. So all of these types of interactions are now being fed into the Acquion Conversational Engagement Engine. Inquiries, process exceptions, collections, those are sent, and using Acquion IQ, which is an artificial intelligence modeling, looking at those interactions to find best time to call, best propensity to buy, sending that then to the contact center for calls and re-engagement inquiries. So you've heard some success stories. You have found out why and how conversational engagement is emerging. What's next? What core capabilities define conversational engagement? How does this all work? So come back and listen for episode 3. Thank you.